Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch!
Yeah!
Here on KwingsLetsPlays, special thanks to our friends over at Capcom for providing a copy of this game and sponsoring our series. It's time for us to jump back into the courtroom and do some crime fighting.
It's justice time!
March 22nd, 2:14 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. Dude, I can't believe that. Miss Andrews, no way, not cool. And Collected Andrews? What?
What is Collected Andrews?
I don't know. So she's your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her. So after the ceremony during the break, huh?
Whoa.
I was sleeping like a log the entire time. So she, see, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your pants.
Hakama!
Because she was the one who came to wake me up?
Or Hakama.
Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she's the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. But why? I thought she was buds with Juan. She has her own agenda, I believe. Her own agenda? What are you talking about?
Best you not know.
I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of the day. Give me the verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude?
Okay. Phoenix. You think her motive is related to Celeste Impacts' missing suicide note, right?
Yep. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live.
Whoa.
But then Miss Impacts suddenly left this world. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person that ought to have it hidden would be...
She left town.
Yeah.
Is Juan Corrida the victim of this murder?
And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida. All to get that suicide note back.
That sounds plausible, Phoenix. But one thing bothers me. Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts.
It was Edgeworth.
It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet, Phoenix.
Oh.
It's hard to take her seriously with that tiny little bun on top of her hair that looks like a heart. March 22nd, the courtroom.
All right, court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. Okay. Well, she looks thrilled to be here. What is your occupation?
I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Angard.
I see. Now then.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes? Sure. What is it? Perhaps my phone number?
Not really. I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
Oh no, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland.
So you did know the name of the...
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me.
Yeah, he totally brought it up.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship to the victim.
Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
But I didn't kill him.
No one is accusing you of that.
I think there's someone who would beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well. Then witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. Bum bum bum. Testify, girl, testify. When I found the bodies. Boop.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the exact same scene as in the crime photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
Yes,
Tomato
because
juice.
when you're about to faint, you poured yourself a glass of juice after looking at a corpse? What kind of psycho are you?
Especially tomato juice.
Wow.
Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime. Oopsie.
Oopsies.
And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one item.
And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may now brutalize the witness.
Phoenix. She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match.
Really? Yeah, I know. We'll see.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing, huh?
Yeah. She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. You know the kind. So, you have to attack when she least expects it.
Sounds good.
The instant you let up your offense is the instant that this trial will be over. Understand, Phoenix?
Yes, but it's called offense. I have an offense to that.
I say it my own way, and I am a ghost, so my way's correct.
Quiet, ghost!
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Max from his room.
Now he's Max? Okay.
What?
You called him Max.
What is his name?
Matt!
Oh.
The manager doesn't even know his name? What?
I'm a little distracted right now. I'm being accused of murder.
Oh, okay.
After that, I went to Juan's room.
Yeah, nothing fishy there.
And there was his dead body. I was in shock.
Yeah, I know. So much shock to take a glass of juice? You were in shock.
What? Was I not supposed to be or something?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person, and despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
Yeah.
I see.
I thought Edgeworth has his own girlfriend. What I saw was naturally the exact scene as in the crime scene photo.
Oh?
I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
A juice! Hold it! Juice, eh?
It's such a weird response.
Juice?
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
After witnessing the dead body, you were like, oh, I feel thirsty.
You know what I would have been like? This thing might be poisoned.
Exactly. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? So what was the purpose of pouring it?
Huh?
There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. You just wasted juice and made it room temperature.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
But the juice is supposed to make you feel better. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead corpse of Juan Kurita, you were in great shock, and that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice. Am I correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time.
Complete blank to pour juice? Really? I didn't think that was possible for you, considering how awesome you are.
Thank you. Aren't you being rude today, though?
Name one lawyer that isn't.
I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That only one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now? Press further! Go, Phoenix. Miss Andrews.
You go, Phoenix!
I'm convinced that you said you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Bum-bum-bum. Actually, so would I.
Well...
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing.
Tell us!
When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
Flower vase? Are you talking about the one in the floor of the crime photo? That would be the flower vase.
Wow.
This means the mess of the glass shards was your doing.
So she added 2 things to the crime scene. It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
Why did you withhold such important piece of information about the flower vase?
I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess.
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. About the flower vase, please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
Oh, really?
Really. I was the one who knocked the flower vase over where it fell on the guitar case.
Okay. What kind of flower vase was it?
It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy.
Okay.
I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse, so I set the glass I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase.
That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself.
That's what she would like people to think, Phoenix.
Okay.
Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality.
I'm not good with reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily, Phoenix.
Okay.
The only way to make her is to...
Keep on the offensive. Yeah, I know, I got it.
The only way you're gonna catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence, Phoenix.
I have to find something. I just have to, for Maya's sake. Alright, so something about that guitar case. Let's see if she says something. No. No. There was his dead body. I had some juice. Naturally. Crime scene photo. No. Felt as though I was about to faint. I poured myself some juice, because that made sense. Okay. No, that didn't happen. Guitar case wasn't touched by anybody.
Yeah, where it fell on the guitar case. Yeah, there's no glass shards on there.
No. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
Oh, yeah. It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that's true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
Whoa.
Ooh, that's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. And what is that? The judge is all ears now. Let's take another look at the crime scene photo, shall we, guys? Here we go. Laser pointer time. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor, as you can see here. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case.
I know.
What is your point, Wright? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over?
Yeah, but she didn't say that.
Is that all? No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. Even I remember that. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case whatsoever. That may very well be, however... the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
Yes, I don't know.
Make her testify, I don't know. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Sure.
I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you.
Wow.
Can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Bum-ba-bum, ba-da-da-da-da. The guitar case. Whee!
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed.
Enough to pour yourself juice?
I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over.
Minute.
It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all.
Oh, I see a contradiction.
As for why I opened the case, even I don't even know.
You couldn't have opened the case because Juan Carita's fingerprints are all over it. And yours aren't. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This is wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination myself, jerks. Using anyway to change the topic, a convenient escape for a weak man.
Wow, I thought Edgeworth was supposed to be your friend in grade school.
I'm gonna punch him in the face.
He's so mean.
I know, right?
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed.
That's because you didn't drink the juice.
I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over.
No! I don't think so.
What?
Nope. So you opened the guitar case then, eh?
Yes. Well...
Maybe?
Maybe.
What? Why did you open the guitar case then?
Huh?
Mr. Carita's dead body was right in front of you, and you thought, hey, I'm just gonna open this guitar case. I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help and not, rummage through a dead person's belongings. As the witness has said multiple times when she found the corpse, she was dazed.
Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was all right or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Criminal.
Why would she care about the bright red guitar?
But getting back onto topic... It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. What is she flipping through in her little book?
I don't know. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside.
Huh?
How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio.
Couldn't she have taken it there?
These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, no penalty.
Ooh. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was already open. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case.
That can't be.
After I knocked the vase over, maybe.
You know what? We're going with juice. I hope this is right. The witness statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor.
What?
I'm sorry, but I see nothing faulty yet.
Well, she couldn't have opened the guitar case because Juan's prints were the only ones on it.
Right, but sadness.
I don't know where we're supposed to go with this.
I must be back on the wrong track.
I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over then. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all.
Wait! Now I know what I did wrong. She just said the case was empty after all. How does she know the guitar case was empty?
Unless she opened it.
Exactly!
But it was open. I'm so confused what's going on.
Guitar case! Ah!
But she couldn't have opened it. Her prints aren't even on it.
There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Meh. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are that of the victims. Up top.
Yeah! Huh? I don't know what she said.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
I was too busy trying to high five, Luke. You shouldn't assume that I must have left my prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Murderer!
Oh my gosh! Why would you be wearing gloves unless you're the killer?
Gloves? Why would you be wearing gloves at a time like this?
It was the night of the awards ceremony, of course. So, of course, I dressed up for the occasion.
But why would you wear gloves?
They go with dresses, like the long gloves. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure that I was wearing a pair of very thin gloves.
You made it up! I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
Then how could she pour herself juice and open that bottle?
Yes, that's strange.
She couldn't open that bottle with gloves.
You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
I couldn't open the bottle with gloves. Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
Oh, I do.
She left her fingerprints on the glass!
Oh, there we go! Oh. I have your proof right here. This delicious tomato juice.
Glass. The tomato juice glass?
You left your fingerprints all over it. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice that spoiled, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Wait, she has another pair of glasses? Interesting.
Wait, she does?
Yeah, that's expensive. Order! Order! This is getting interesting.
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time, Phoenix.
Well, bam. Huh? Oh, what do you mean?
I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here.
Really? It's just an empty guitar case, but okay, cool. I'll go with that.
I wonder if it really was empty, though, Phoenix.
But the guitar, the bright red one, was still at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, nope, that's not right either.
No, Phoenix, no. Oh my gosh!
I admit it, it would be unnatural for someone to do that.
I used to hold papers in my violin case all the time.
Okay, so you're saying there was important papers?
It could be.
So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided...
Your jacket is pink, Edgeworth.
Your face is dumb. No, Your Honor. Please recall what Miss Andrews had testified about the vase. It fell into the guitar case. Which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. Oh. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. Ooh. If you're so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow sustain your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second
That there was an elf in the guitar case?
that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been inside the case.
A gnome?
The bright red guitar not being the only thing?
I think there were papers in there.
You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar...
You are like the judge.
So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty, is that it, right?
It had a note in it. I know it did.
I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours, you haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder?
It would have been something he carried around with him all the time that would have been small enough to fit in there with the guitar. Something small, like paper or something. Because you can put it under the guitar.
No.
Fine, I guess I'm wrong.
Something they would have...
It could be a photo.
No, I don't think it's a photo. What
It
if...
could be the camera.
No. What if this is a case of switcheroo?
Huh?
That costume.
It could be the costume? What?
You know what?
The costume?
The costume. I've got a hunch.
What?
I've got a hunch. Hopefully we're right.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
This is a photograph. Yes, but what is important about this picture, Your Honor? I feel like the honor is just like kindergarten. In this picture, it doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What am I proposing?
I thought people still say Your Honor in court.
Inside inside the case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
What?
What? I was right. Cool. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right? Are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be in doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo of the tiny samurai? Oh. Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix.
Woo! Bluffing wins! Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside of a costume. Wait a second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Unguard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? Maybe he was a fan? And inside the guitar case of all places.
Maybe he gave it to him to hang on to.
True, this is a little baffling now. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts on this as well. Ooh, what was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
It was stolen?
Let's do that one!
Oh my gosh.
Actually, no, well, let's, okay, yeah, we'll do...
Whatever you want, I don't know.
I think it may have been stolen from Matt.
Why would he steal it?
Stolen? But why would someone do such a thing? Maybe the thief wanted to interfere with the post-ceremony stage show. And so, if he didn't have his costume, then Mr. On Guard would be forced to go naked.
What?
Maybe you should be stripped and run out for making a mockery of this court. Excuse me? Matt On Guard did not take his costume off after the award ceremony. Oh, yeah, that's right. He even testified that he took a nap still wearing his costume. Is this not correct?
Oh.
Yeah, he did say something like that,
That's
didn't
right,
he?
he was wearing his costume.
That's what I thought. Oh! Oh,
snap.
okay.
The judge got you.
Let's try that one more time, shall we, Mr. Wright? Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. Okay. I'm gonna.
It was a spare costume.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. Mr. Angard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we're talking about was his spare one.
Okay.
What? Then are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Gasp.
Yup, that's where I'm going with this. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? The judge is all in it. It would mean that the victim brought himself. He had his spare to the ceremony on purpose?
Weird.
What? Really?
Why would he bring...
But why? The victim, Mr. Karita, was a Jamin ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
I don't know.
And therein lies the sticking point.
Huh?
He doesn't know. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just rambling this whole time without any sense of inner monologue? No, I just, Mr. Knight, please explain yourself.
You're making Edgeworth mad.
Why would you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare? Uh-oh.
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you, Phoenix.
Okay, alright, this is what I think, probably. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume was...
David the Gnome to wear!
The Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony show. This thing!
What? Oh, he was gonna make him look terrible in front of everyone.
What is this, a ticket for a raffle? On the night of the murder, Your Honor, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, you know, a place where people announce things. The Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Angard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that evening.
Oh my gosh!
Uh-oh. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was a setup. By none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Carita himself. The victim?
Dun,
Sinister.
dun, dun.
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Carita was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
He was gonna pose as the Nickel Samurai.
He was going to be a poser dressed as the samurai to hold a conference? Why? Why would the victim do such a thing?
Because he was jealous.
Okay. That's something I haven't quite figured out yet. However...
He wanted to take down his career, of course.
What I'm concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at said conference.
He was gonna reveal his Furby collection.
The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself.
That he had a Furby collection.
Which means that Juan Carita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Angard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession. That's public disclosure.
Okay.
Miss Andrews, you have something to enlighten us with?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Okay. Pardon?
Yes, just as you say. The press conference was set up by Juan. Wait, why did you say that before?
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this or you'll be held in contempt of court.
I was the one he asked to help set it up.
Oh.
And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You? An accomplice?
What? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure that Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway.
So the Jammin' Ninja was a creep.
He was a jerk.
He was going to ruin him, huh?
He was going to tell everyone that Matt had a Furby collection. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What? Ooh, this is getting good. And do you know what the secret of Matt is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Yeah, right!
I see.
I think she's lying. She's lying. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone.
You think?
Well, you lied like a million times. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
What now? Protect him? By what?
By lying?
And yet again, another strange bit of truth finally comes to light. Or so it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand. It was actually me who had the Furby collection.
Furbies! Okay. Protecting Matt.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer.
Gasp.
Matt had to kill Juan no matter what.
Uh-oh.
And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him.
By getting him arrested? I'm so confused.
Yeah, by what?
Oh, this does account for everything.
Well, I am the logical type, am I not? We're finally seeing her true self, Phoenix. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit right now.
And the defense can find no fault with this testimony. I'm ready to make my ruling.
No, we're finding fault with it.
Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
All right, let's accuse her of murder and take her down.
All right, looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale once again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. I can do this.
Oh, yeah.
Or so I hope.
Protecting, quote, Matt.
Protecting Matt, yeah.
By basically ousting him in court. From the moment I saw the crime
Hold
scene...
it! Alright, would you say that was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own.
Ooh, feisty.
If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things.
3 things?
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. How did you not know that?
They didn't teach that us in school, at least not from what I remember. I slept a bunch.
May I continue now?
Okay.
Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course.
Okay. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be clever camouflage. What? Really? How?
Then, what about the button?
What about the button? The button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought.
Oh, did they now?
Yeah. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the pleats of Matt's hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Oh, she's glaring now.
How did she know what was in his hakama?
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
Clever girl. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Oh!
Whoa, Mia's just angry now!
Thank
oh my god!
goodness Mia can still look at me.
Whoa! With an icy stare, yes, Phoenix.
Get out of my head, Ghost. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
Wow, and I thought it was hard being around Von Karma. You had two angry ladies staring at you.
Okay.
That button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt, of course.
Oh, really? Was it now?
Of course it was!
Okay, alright.
Did you ever go to lawyer school, or what?
I may not have gone to lawyer school, but I did go to the autopsy place. Show me autopsy! Oh, the music stopped! Guess what?
Whoa.
This is the victim's autopsy report. I'm sorry, did you say he was stabbed because he was strangled by a scarf?
Strangulation?
Oh, you almost broke character. Good, Amber. She's starting to crack. The knife stab to the victim was done after he had already passed away. Boom! And what does that mean? Well, let's examine the evidence, shall we? This button has the victim's blood on it, right? Which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Aha, exactly. Thank you, buddy. Which means... You're gonna love this. It is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle.
Yeah, that's right!
Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's the game! That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. I'm so sorry. This button was concisively pulled off the victim's already dead corpse. Conclusively?
Consciously.
Dang it! Oh, no, what is the meaning of what? What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim was already dead? What does that change? Well, let me ask you one simple question, yo. Why does the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? The purpose? Yeah, you know, we know that this button was not torn off during the fight.
To set someone up!
So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this off the victim's corpse.
Yep.
But that would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Yeah, why would it be? Why would he rip it off after the guy's already dead?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know that the murderer wanted this button? What was it for? To have a memento of the crime.
To pin the crime on Asgard!
Okay, fine.
Yes!
That would be a fun answer, though.
Yeah, maybe.
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Asgard. You. There is no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's just gross.
Oh my god.
That's right. Mr. Matt was set up. By the real killer, of course. Ooh.
Oh.
Bum. And the real murderer is...
Oh, I think I know who it is.
Well, Mr. Knight, who in the world is this real killer, then? Okay.
Well...
Finally.
I know who we can pin it on, at least.
Exactly. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. I'm so good.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
Yeah. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Matt on guard, is... Short Girl!
Yeah! Adrian Andrews!
Miss Adrian Andrews! Booyah! I choose you, Pikachu!
Adrian! What?
Ah! Look at that! Oh, that just swung around. Well, bam! Mr. Knight, I will have order in my courtroom. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? You're kidding, right? All the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
What? How preposterous! You can't stick any of that on me!
Oh, can't I? Would you care to test me?
Then, what about this knife?
Ooh, good point. The knife was used to stab the victim after he'd already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Matt, naturally. Although, really gross to do that to a corpse, because the defendant's fingerprints were still on it.
Oh.
And the only one who had a dinner with him and knew where the knife was, it was you.
Then... What? What about the button that was found in Matt's...
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so is the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer... Yes. There's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own pants!
Ah!
Oh, I'm sorry. The only person who could have put this button into his pants was the person who went to wake him up for his nap, which is you, Miss Andrews! I see. What about the empty guitar case? Okay, that's easy. That's also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. Again!
Whoa.
That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime. Now, who could have known that there was a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. Oh, snap. And that person is you, Andrews.
No,
Uh-oh, you're in trouble now. But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that, the gloves, the time of stuff.
She wasn't wearing gloves at the time because she had her fingerprints on the
glass. That's right. Sorry, the cat was distracting me. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. And if anyone found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. See, smart. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show it that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body.
Ah!
And on top of it all, there is a photo of a person who's too short wearing the costume. Look at that! Tiny person.
Yeah, because the pants are dragging.
No reasonable person could believe this is Nickel Samurai, Matt on guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Oh, dang. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please, stop!
Oh, breaking character, are we? Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. What a cliffhanger! Is Miss Andrews really the killer? I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because it's cliffhanger time! We'll see you guys with more Ace Attorney at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on KwingsLetsPlays. Until then, God bless and happy gaming.